friends, my name is Haniya and today I have a fun one for you. We're going to be learning how to grow a lychee tree from seed. In front of me are a couple of lychee tree seedlings that I recently germinated. And I would say if you've never had lychee fruit, it's sort of like a cross between a grape and rose water. I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but it is a unique taste and it is quite delicious. So if you are interested in growing these guys from seed, just prepare yourself when you buy a carton of lychee fruit to go through all of that delicious white flesh and separate the seeds from it, because that's what you will be doing. So first things first, when you get your carton of lychee fruit, what you'll start doing is pulling that somewhat rough shell that's red away from the white flesh. And the white flesh obviously is edible, and that is the fruit part. And if you're like me, you probably eat all of them because you don't want to let any of that go to waste. And then you pull out the seed, which can be stuck to some fruit, and you may just want to keep swishing that around until you get all of the fruit off. Once you have separated all of your seeds from the fruit, the next thing you want to do is start soaking them. And I probably left my seeds in there for about 3 days, just in normal tap water inside of a glass. After you're done soaking your seeds, you're going to have a lychee seed that looks like this, nice and clean. And I actually just left these right on the surface. They were such large seeds. I did not bother to bury them deeply at all, and they seem to prefer to be planted this way. Just know that they are, again, very hardy, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were doing just fine underneath the soil, but this worked for me to just leave the seed right on top. And then I filled a couple of pots with both potting soil and coconut coir just to see if there was any sort of difference. These guys are so hardy, it doesn't matter what substrate you use, is what I'm gonna say. They just need to be moist, and put them inside of a plastic bag. I would say they take about a couple weeks to germinate, maybe even less than that, maybe a week and a half to a couple weeks. If you don't see them germinating in that time, they're probably not gonna come up. So you may have to go buy another batch of seeds and start over. But in my experience, you can't go wrong with at least one seed in that entire carton. These guys definitely need to be repotted soon. There's several plants in one pot, but they also seem to be doing quite okay like this, so I might leave them for a little while longer. We'll see. Seedling care tips. Once you get your lychee seeds to germinate, you want to make sure you leave them under a very intense grow light, typically meant for desert plants. These guys are tropical and they do need a ton of sunlight in order to keep their leaves nice. I don't have space for them in front of my very sunny windows, so I leave them a couple of feet under a GE grow light, and it's meant to be intense sun. They seem to be doing pretty well under that. I do water them several times a week, I would say, and even still, they kind of get a little droopy on me, so I need to start watering them more often as they're growing. Other than that, they are totally happy being in regular room humidity, so maybe it's around 35% right now. They are hardy and happy as can be in this room. I don't notice any leaf curling other than when I don't water them on time and they start to get a little dry. I can also start to see some roots coming through, so I definitely need to repot soon, like I already mentioned. But that being said, they seem to go into any soil, like I mentioned before. So when I do repot, I'm just going to use some regular potting soil and maybe add a little bit more perlite and some bark just to make sure that it's well draining. But other than that, don't have to do anything. And that's basically it, guys. These, again, super easy, nothing much to it, but let me know in the comments if I missed some detail. And this is my second video on plants that you can either eat or drink or both. The first one I did was coffee, which I will also link to below if you want to check that out. I'm hoping to do a couple more of these because I've had a lot of success with plants in that category. I guess plants that produce fruit would probably be the best way to say it, except the coffee doesn't really produce fruit, it produces a bean. We're not gonna get into that, but lychee trees, super easy, super cute. and I'll see you guys in a couple of days with my next video. Thanks.